How to get signed to an acting agency in South Africa. Hello good people, I am BZ Africa. I just have one disclaimer before I begin, that I do not do disclaimers. Let's get into it. So I think South African acting agencies over the years are now more than ever looking for people who are trained and actors who are trained. I think you taking initiative to go study, I think it really just shows how serious you are about the craft. And I think more than anything, you have acting practitioners and actors and actresses now becoming not hoarding, but like I think concerned, let's be diplomatic, about their industry to say, you know, some people are not so serious. We work and we come on set and people just don't take what we do seriously. And you see it with how they behave and whatnot. And sometimes they're not lying. School does equip you about those things, how you act on set, how you behave, how you treat and build a career as an actor. So I think if you do want to be an actor and actress, that should be the one place that I would advise that you look into. You do not have to go to a private institution. There are universities, government universities and tertiary institutions that can help you acquire an acting or performance qualification. So you could start by looking into that. And alternatively, there are institutions that offer, you know, private classes and extra classes or part-time classes, full-time classes. I think first and foremost, let's say right now you're thinking of approaching a certain agency in South Africa, you need to get your headshots, your professional high-res pictures. But not just that, ensure that you have two looks, especially if you are a lady or woman. You may want to have a neutral look and maybe a look with makeup. You just want to give them different things, just depending also on the ages that you're gonna apply for. If you know you are likely to apply an audition for ages between 20 to 30s, those are usually, you know, characters that usually wear makeup, look a certain type of a way. So you want to make sure that you give the agent and the person who's going to read your email and application a variety of choices that, okay, this person can work for different things. So please do get your headshots. That's non-negotiable. You need to have headshots. No one is gonna come back to you asking her what you look like, and your selfie won't cut it. But sometimes you can use a phone if you have a high quality camera, and most devices don't. So usually in malls, I do know a lot of malls and touches, they have photo shoot setups. I've been through them and I see them regularly. So if you have no excuse, go get your headshots. Have neutral colors, don't wear white. Usually the backdrop is white. Have a red, have a black, have a gray, a dark purple, a dark green, a shirt, and do a close-up. Headshot. Give you headshots and then full body pictures. So those ones are actually some of the things that can help you get into it. And then alternatively is having a creative resume. If you have a little bit of experience, you want to detail it, but don't detail it like a corporate resume. And usually what you do is that go to platforms such as Canva. They have templates. You just say creative resume or acting resume, and then there's a point where you can put a picture, that headshot that I told you about, and then a brief bio. You can say, I am busy, I'm 21, how I wish I was 21, I'm 21, and then what actor, and then some of the things that you can describe is your eye color, your hair color, your height, and your shoe size, your clothing size, shirt and pants. So just describing those details, and then you can also then identify skills. If you're good at swimming, you're good at a certain sport, that is a great advantage. So those are some of the things that can just help you just show that, you know, what it is that you are bringing to the table to the agent coming across your application. So in that, you could have that picture, your name, surname, details, and maybe the address. You don't have to write your ID, and then those personal details. If you have the experience, then you add radio experience, acting experience, you know, that could be a resume. A one pager always does the job. So if you could send an application to, okay, we'll get into the email. Once you have that resume, if you can, please record a monologue every actor has to have a YouTube channel in their name. You do online audition tapes. It's non-negotiable. Once again, maybe sometimes you can say your videos don't have to be public. They can be, I think it's listed where just anyone who has access to the link can see your audition tapes, right? And remember, when you do record those audition tapes, your phone is always in landscape, sideways. Don't put it this ways. It must be something like what you're seeing right now. That is, that's how you're gonna record your monologue. Sometimes it depends, but you can have this two type of things. One, a video where you are looking into the camera. Hi, I am busy, and this is my monologue of something X play, and then you start your monologue looking straight into camera. Or sometimes you just look a bit sideways, because usually when you're acting, if you've observed, actors don't usually look into the camera, right? Now we have done the monologue, so go learn your monologues. Go learn monologues that are true to you and that are just good and that are like relevant and can just showcase your skill. So if you could have a monologue or two, then that's one way of doing it. And then sending the email. Obviously you will have to find the list of acting agencies that you want to be signed to. Please just, it's your responsibility to ensure that agencies are registered, agencies have a reputation. You can always see if they have talent there and whatnot. There are a lot of people ripping people off because they understand people love this medium called television and they don't know how to go about it. So I'm just cautioning you against that. So it's your responsibility to ensure that the people you're speaking to, once again, maybe we should also do a video of some of the agencies you can, approach. But I think my only problem with that type of a video is that how do I then advocate for a certain agency if I haven't personally worked for them? You understand? So that's okay. We're sending the email. Now you found the agent, you found the email. Some agents open during the beginning of the year that they are willing to take talent, but you know what? Don't hold yourself back. Shoot your shot at all times. Maybe you're just what they're looking for at that time and the day you send your video. And then you just email application to be signed to X agency. You greet them. I am BZ, I'm 21, I live in Johannesburg. This is an official application to be signed to X amount of agency. And then you tell them a brief bio. I would like to be signed as an actor and be represented. And maybe you tell them a little bit about what you did. And if maybe you do not want to get into that, especially when you don't have the experience, you could just say, please find attached my resume, my headshot, and link to my monologue. See why those things are important. Then you put that YouTube link to your monologue. If you can have it on a Google Drive, you can also have that. WeTransfer will work against you because sometimes people don't look at your email within the 7 days and the WeTransfer link can expire. So now you've lost an opportunity. And please make sure you leave your name and surname and your contact detail. Please just always let them know I'm open to maybe auditioning and just I'm available to audition in person for the team. And make sure you rehearse that monologue, because when you do meet the agent, if they give you the chance, you'll have to audition in front of them. So figure out what works for you, what makes you a bit calm, so that by the time you secure that meeting, you are able to impress the people that you need to impress. So those are just step by step, but there are also another reality is that chances are you may not be signed to the first agent that you want to work with, and that's absolutely okay. And I think, like I've said, most agencies have a website on how they sign people. And I think another thing I would just caution you is some scammy agents, they hide behind the whole portfolio money. If you have the professional headshots, you don't need to be paying for professional pictures because you have the pictures. But some work the way they work. It becomes your decision, but don't say, nah, I do not caution you against that. So those are some of the things that I think could just help you if you are seeking to join an acting agent. Do take the work and the work relationship quite well. And think when it comes to rates and agents cut and percentage cuts, personally, I'm at a point where I would not take a management agency fee That is more than 25%, especially if you're still gonna pay 25% tax, which is mostly the percentage of tax that most freelancers actors pay. So why must I get paid 100 rand and I pay 25% to this agent, 25 rand to the agent, 25 rand to SARS, and I'm only left with 50 rands, you know? So those are some of the things. I do think you can sometimes negotiate those rates, but most times you're young, you're a bit desperate. How do you even negotiate that? But you can always initiate a conversation, be that audacious person. Some people will cut you off, you must know that, and say you think you've arrived. We wish you well, greener pastures. But you know, those are some of the, I think, acceptable rates, just under 25%. And there are agents that are offering you 10%, 15%. I have experienced them. So those are, you know, some of the things you can caution and be cautioned about. And do read those contracts so that you know what you've committed to. Sometimes you're offered a contract on the spot. Take pictures of that contract and then ask somebody eventually to just let you know what you have committed yourself into. When it comes to agencies about extras, that's actually a different conversation, because it's just, there are a lot of them. It's quite hard to audit, vet. So yet again, you'd have to do your homework. But I think even if you're approaching an extra, agencies that deal with extras, you want to just follow the same procedure. I think that should get you inside the door. And please be cautious. There are some agents that have application platforms on the website where you can just fill in your details and send them, and if they don't respond after X amount of days, then that means unfortunately your application was not successful. So those are just some of the things to look out for, and I think those are some of the ways that you can get signed to an acting agency in South Africa. I wish you the absolute best if you are pursuing a career as a talent in South Africa, and I hope to see you on your screens very, very, very soon. I am BT Africa. Thank you so much for honoring me with your time.